The Clyron were a fragile people. Small, soft-skinned, and slow-moving. They had evolved on a quiet moon with no predators and mild seasons. When they ventured into the wider galaxy, they were seen as harmless, too harmless. They became skilled in art, music, and philosophy, but in matters of war or politics, they had no defense. At first, the galaxy tolerated them. The Clyron shared their music freely, built gardens on barren asteroids, and filled space stations with sculptures of crystal and light. But the galaxy was not a kind place for long. The Dravik Empire rose in the outer rim, conquerors with fleets of black steel and no patience for diplomacy. They targeted the Clyron worlds not because of resources or strategy, but because the Clyron were easy to take. The Galactic Council debated the invasion for only 2 hours before voting. "We regret this decision," the chair announced, "but intervention would cost too much." The Clyron delegation, 5 gentle beings draped in silver threads, stood silent. They had been abandoned. All but one representative left the chamber when the vote concluded. A single human remained seated, arms folded, watching the Clyron with eyes that didn't pity, but burned with something else. Captain Elias Ward was not a diplomat. He was a former Marine, assigned to the Human Colonial Office as a military observer in case negotiations required persuasion. He didn't speak until the room was nearly empty. "How long do you have?" he asked. The eldest Clyron blinked in confusion. 3 weeks before their fleet arrives." Ward stood. "Then we'd better get moving." When the first Dravik warships emerged from hyperspace over the Clyron homeworld, they expected to find no resistance, just like every other planet they'd taken. Instead, the orbital approaches were lit with the cold gleam of human warships. Not the newest models. Not the massive dreadnoughts the humans kept in their core defense fleets. These were lean, fast ships, older destroyers retrofitted for speed and teeth. The Dravik commander opened a wideband channel. "Humans, this is no concern of yours." Ward's voice came back over comms, level and cold. "They asked for help. That makes it our concern." The Dravik laughed. "You'd risk your fleet for these weaklings?" "We've done more for less," Ward replied. The battle was brutal. The Dravik relied on heavy armor and raw firepower. The humans relied on mobility, electronic warfare, and an unsettling willingness to get close, dangerously close. They used Clyron orbital gardens as cover, threading between glowing crystal spires while trading laser fire. Human drop troopers hit the surface in hours, digging in around Clyron cities. They carried heavy railguns and shoulder-mounted missile packs, setting up kill zones in narrow streets. To the Dravik, who expected unarmed civilians, it was like charging into a nest of hornets. On the 3rd day, Ward walked the Clyron capital's open square. The air smelled of crystal pollen and burning metal. The Clyron high speaker approached him. We cannot repay this debt." Ward shook his head. "Not a debt. A choice. You needed someone, and we were here." The high speaker tilted his head. "But why? Your council gains nothing. Your species gains nothing." Ward looked at the alien's fragile hands, then at the distant human soldiers repairing a barricade. "Because one day maybe it's us who need help. And when that day comes, I'd like to think someone will remember what we did here." The Dravik fleet retreated after a week, leaving dozens of shattered hulls in orbit. They'd underestimated the humans, everyone always did, once. The Clyron rebuilt with human engineers working alongside them. Gardens that had been burned now bloomed again. But this time, human children ran among the crystal trees with Clyron children. When the Galactic Council convened again, the Clyron delegation returned, this time with humans walking at their side. And though no one said it aloud, every species in the chamber knew something had changed. The Clyron were no longer alone, because when every other species had abandoned them, the humans had stayed.